Today we are going to look at errors in measurement. So for example, if I look at this rod, right, and I am trying to look at the length of this rod. So let me just make some assumption and let us say that this was 60 centimeters. How do I know it is 60 centimeters? I would have probably taken a scale and measured it. But it won't be exactly 60 centimeters, right? It might be 60 centimeters plus maybe half a centimeter or maybe minus half a centimeter. When I'm saying it's 60 centimeters, maybe it was between 60.5 and 59.5. It is between this to this. So the way we usually write this is to say it is 60 centimeters, correct, but plus or minus 0.5 centimeters. That is, there could be an error in the measurement which is either going to make it larger or make it smaller. It won't be 62 centimeters, it won't be 58 centimeters, it won't even be 59 centimeters, but it could be 59.8 centimeters. I don't know exactly that this is 60 centimeters. I know that it is between 59.5 and 60.5. We say that this is the absolute error. We call this the error or just simply absolute error in the measurement. Okay. So now, for example, if I had taken this ball and I want to measure the volume of this ball. So let us assume it was a perfect sphere. You know the formula for the volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube, which means I need to know the r or the radius of this sphere. So let us say I take something and basically look at a vernier calipers or something and I find out what the diameter of this is. And it turns out that the diameter, let us say, so let me call it dia, is 8 centimeters. So the radius would be 4 centimeters. But all this is assuming I know perfectly that it is 8 centimeters with no error. Obviously never is going to happen, right? If you're going to measure, you're going to have an error. So it will be typically 8 centimeters plus or minus, let us say, 0.1 centimeter. But when you do the radius, it's going to become 4 centimeters plus or minus 0.1 by 2. So it's going to become 0.05 centimeters. Do you see why this has become 0.05? Because I'm dividing this by 2. So when I divide this by 2, 8 by 2 makes it 4, but the error also must be divided. So error also becomes 0.1 divided by 2, 0.05. Is this more error or is this more error? Actually, they are both the same level of error. This looks smaller. Absolute error is less than 0.1. So if I remove the by 2, you can see the absolute error for this is 0.1. The absolute error for this is 0.05. So this looks smaller. But that's not a good idea because it's the same error. The error really in some sense is not changed. So instead of talking about absolute error, we also talk about relative error. Relative error, so for example, if I look at what is the meaning of relative error. Now relative error is not the actual error, but error relative to the measurement quantity. So for example, here the relative error will be 0.5 divided by 60. Now if you take the relative error for R, so let me take the relative error for R. What is that? 0.05 by 4. What is the relative error for diameter? What is it? 0.1 by 8. Can you see these two are equal? Because if I had multiplied that by 2 in the numerator and denominator, that is going to become 0.1 and this is going to become 8. So these two are exactly the same. So that means diameter and radius both have the same relative error. So is that clear? So we use relative error because relative error gives you a better idea. So for example, in 1 kilometer distance, if you made an error of 1 meter, it's a small error because you're measuring 1 kilometer, which is very long, and you're looking at a small error of 1 meter. But suppose I am measuring something that is only this much size. So let us say, what is the length of this? Suppose I tell you the length of this is 4 centimeters plus or minus 1 meter. Now is this okay? No, right? Because you're saying it's such a small thing, but you can say error is so much. So this is a very huge error. Nobody talks about such a large error. So this is a good error. This is a bad error, very bad error. Okay, so basically this has a huge relative error. Absolute error both look the same. But relative error, this is 1 meter by 4 centimeters, which is basically 100 by 4, whereas this is 1 by 1000. So this is very, very small. This is quite large. We also talk about percentage error. So for example, let us take an example now. If I look at 3 plus or minus 0.3, let us say kilograms. You're measuring some mass and it turns out to be 3 plus or minus 0.3. What is the absolute error? Absolute error is going to be 0.3. What is the relative error? 0.3 by 3. How much is that? 0.1. We will also talk about the percentage error. Percentage error. Now what is that? That is actually relative error into 100. Is a way that you find percentage. How big is the error compared to 3 as a percentage? So it is 0.3 by 3 into 100. That is, if this was 100, how big would that be? That is the question. For 100, what is the error? Okay, so you can see that it is 0.1 into 100, which is 10%. So for 100, the error is 10. For 1, the error is 0.1. Okay, for 3, the error is 0.3. Actually, it's the same statement. All these are the same equivalent statement. So whenever we are given the error, we must be able to find out what is the relative error and what is the absolute error and what is the percentage error. Okay, so that's very critical and important. Now let us take a couple of simple cases where we are looking at addition of two quantities and we want to find out what is the error in such a case. Now let us look at this question. I have a rectangle here. Okay, we'll assume it's a perfect rectangle and I want its perimeter. When we measure this length, let us say it turns out to be 7 plus or minus 2.2 centimeters and assume that this length is exactly the same. It's a perfect rectangle, okay? So we make only one measurement and that measurement happens to be 7 plus or minus 0.2. Usually when you make the second measurement, this may be 7 or 6.9 plus or minus 0.2 and then what you can do is you can do an average. But I don't want to do all that right now. This is the length, this breadth is the same, okay? So it is 2 plus or minus 0.1 centimeters. Suppose I want the perimeter. Perimeter is 2 times the length because I have 2 of these. So 2 times the length will give me 14 plus or minus 2 times 0.2 is 0.4, right? So 2L plus 2B plus 2B. So 2 times B is going to give me 4 plus or minus 0.2. Right, so look at the perimeter. The perimeter is 14 plus 4. How much is 14 plus 4? 18 plus or minus. Now what do? I have plus or minus 0.4 plus or minus 0.2. It could have been plus 0.4 and minus 0.2. Correct? But if it did this, you will get a plus 0.2. But it could have also been minus 0.4 plus 0.2. And so you can say it is plus or minus 0.2, but this would be wrong. Why? Because this is not the worst case scenario. What is the worst error you can get? Plus or minus 0.4 tells you that it is 14, maximum 14.4, minimum 14 minus 0.4. So you want to say plus or minus maximum error. Now what is the maximum error? When this is plus and that is plus, which will be 0.4 plus 0.2, 0.6. And what will be the minimum error? Minus 0.4 minus 0.2, so minus 0.6. Okay, so this will be the statement for P, the perimeter, and so the absolute error of the perimeter is 0.6. The relative error of the perimeter would be 0.6 by 18. And the percentage error would be how much? This into 100. So 0.6 by 18 into 100. We can do this calculation later, but if you want to, you can say that this is 60 by 18. So that is going to be 10 divided by 3, right? Because if you cancel that out, this is going to be giving you 3. So 10 by 3%, 3.33% error. Okay, so usually with error we generally stop with 1 or 2 decimal places. Okay, so now let us look at this one. What is the percentage error of L? Percentage error of L. It will be 0.2 by 7 into 100, which is 20 by 7%. Very different from 10 by 3. What about the percentage error of B? Percentage error of B. It is 0.1 by 2 into 100. So that is going to give me 10 by 2, 5% error. Can you see that this error is 5%, this error is 3.3%, and that is 20 by 7. It's almost less than 3 because 21 by 7 would be 3. So this is less than 3%. Okay. So this tells you how to calculate error percentages. Remember, this fellow's percentage error and this fellow's percentage error do not add up. Relative errors do not add up. Absolute errors add up. When you are adding two quantities, absolute errors add up. Okay. Now let us think about A minus B. And let us say A has value 5 plus or minus 0.1 and B has value 5 or let's say 4 plus or minus 0.2. When you're looking at A minus B, 5 minus 4 is 1. Now what do I do? Plus or minus 0.1 minus plus or minus 0.2. We sometimes write minus of plus or minus as minus or plus 0.2. But it doesn't matter because you're looking at the worst case. Worst case, this is plus 1, plus 0.1. That would be minus 0.2. Minus of minus will become plus, so it will be plus 0.2. So the worst case scenario is 1 plus 0.3. So 1 plus 0.3. The worst in the opposite direction would be when this is minus 0.1 and then that is plus, so that means minus of plus will become minus. So minus 0.1 minus 0.2 minus 0.3. Always remember the fact that this is plus or minus, it doesn't matter whether this was minus or plus. The worst of this, the worst of that, just simply add the two errors. So if A has an error, absolute error of E1, B has an absolute error of E2, whether it is A plus B or A minus B, the errors will be E1 plus E2 plus or minus. This would be the absolute error. The relative error differs a lot. For example, if you take this relative error, because I have done 5 minus 4, this number has become small. But the error has become larger. So 0.3 by 1, which is a large error percentage, 0.3 by 1 into 100, look at the error percentage. How much is this? 30% error. Huge error, percentage wise. If you look at this fellow's error, it is 0.1 by 5 into 100. Okay, so that would have been 10 by 5, 2% error. Okay, so this was A minus B, right? Now if you look at B's error, how much was B's error? 0.2 by 4. 0.2 by 4 is 0.2 by 4 into 100. Correct? So this is going to give me 20 by 4, 5% error. So B has 5% error, A has 2% error, but A minus B has 30% error. How did it become so big? Because A minus B became very small. Because A minus B was 1, but the error was larger, error was growing, whereas the number was decreasing. A plus B would have been better, it would have been 9 plus 0.3. Okay, if this was 9, if I did A plus B, this will still be 0.3. 9 plus or minus 0.3. So the error percentage is 0.3 by 9 into 100. You can see that is 30 by 9, which is 10 by 3. 10 by 3 is 3.3%. So this is better error than between 2 and 5, it's between 2 and 5. But when you do the subtraction, it becomes much larger error than either of the earlier errors in percentage terms. In absolute terms, it just simply adds up. So we have understood hopefully what to do when you are adding two quantities or subtracting two quantities. What happens when I am multiplying by a constant 2 times a, the absolute error becomes double. So for example, 2 times 5 plus or minus 0.1 is just simply 10 plus or minus 2 times 0.1, which is plus or minus 0.2. Absolute error has become double, but relative error is the same. So when you are multiplying by a fixed number, constant, well-known number, then your error is only going to increase in absolute terms or decrease depending on what you are doing, because if you multiply by half, it will decrease, but relative error remains exactly the same as before. Percentage error remains exactly the same as before. When you are adding two quantities, their errors add up. Subtracting two quantities, their errors add up, still add up. Okay? What happens when you are dividing or multiplying? This is something that we will see in the next lesson.